What I did was I made a fake Snapchat and I added my boyfriend on that username. The last thing that you want is to like go and confront your boyfriend and he's like, "You're just confused and I'm not cheating. How could you say that?" I know you're probably like, "What the hell, Megan, are you talking about? How to use toxicity to get what you want?" No one talks about this. Let's be real. You want to be a passenger princess? You want things to happen to you? You're gonna have to be toxic. That's just the way it is. What is up, you guys? You're now tuned in to Passenger Princess, the one and only source for finding your self-worth. You want to know how to play the game? Let me tell you, baby, we're here to play. And everybody's gonna think, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a passenger princess. I'll do anything. Everybody does things for me. Hi, you guys. Welcome back, or welcome to Passenger Princess, where we talk about mental health and self-care in unconventional ways. I'm sitting on a green velvet chair today. It's a different location. I'm also extremely washed out because I have not seen the sun. So we're going to ignore that. But today's episode is all about toxicity and toxic people and toxic friendships and how to be toxic. So this episode, we're really highlighting the unconventional part of Passenger Princess. But come on, you clearly clicked on this video because you want to be a toxic bad bitch as well. I'm 24 years old and I know my entire high school and college career I was a toxic piece of shit. And I feel like as an adult, I'm pretty wholesome and I try to do positive and be a positive impact in other people's lives. But we've all been there and we all do it. It's nothing really to shy away from. We live in a society now where it's like anything that's unhealthy in the smallest amount, that in itself is bad. And we all do it. We just pretend that we don't. And it's just not real. You want to be a passenger princess. You want to be that queen where people are doing things for you and you're just walking around like a princess. You're going to have to be toxic. That's like the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not saying to go overboard because we don't want to be narcissistic, manipulative pieces of shit. I'm a girl. I've seen it happen multiple times. We use it to our advantage and that's just the way it is. And I feel like we're just going to talk about it. I think that as much as we give it a bad rep, sometimes it's like okay if it is not manipulative and instead, it's just you're young and you're going through a situation and you just want to show your emotion and show your passion in that way. Let me take you on a journey to baby Megan, a 19 or 20, when she was in college. She was cute. This was at the time when, at least for me, I had finally found myself. 16 is that awkward age when you're in high school and you're like, I don't know what the frick is going on. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Why do I look ugly? Why am I getting acne? Why am I gaining weight and then losing weight and going through like puberty? Why are all my friends so toxic and manipulative? You don't know how to maneuver boys and clothing and unibrows and it's the whole works. My senior year of high school, I slowly started to find myself and I went into my first year of college and I was like, Megan, you're a badass bitch. Don't you ever forget that. Beginning of sophomore year when I honestly had like 10 guys on rotation at a time. I'm not even gonna joke. I'm not even gonna lie. I literally had so many boys on rotation. I was used to the male attention. I was used to getting people's attention. I was used to being bitchy and getting my way by being bitchy, which is unhealthy. I feel at that time was necessary to build the character and personality that I have today. And to even know how to carry myself, I feel like I fought through a lot of insecurity at that time. But anyway, all to say, when I was scrolling through, at that time, I don't know if it's still the case right now, but at that time, Snapchat was like the form of communication. You go out to a bar, you go out to a club, you go out to a house party. You don't give guys your phone number. You give guys your Snapchat because one, they're disappearing texts and photos. Duh, like you're 19, 20 years old. That's what you're going to do. But also, I was careful. I'm not going to give my phone number to like a complete stranger. So I used to give him my Snapchat. I used to give people my Snapchats. Even girls, honestly, I don't know if they were like crazy. You don't know in college. You just kind of go with the flow. That was my form of communication. I think that's still the case right now, but 5 years ago, That was what I was doing. And at that time, you know how to hold attention. I feel like girls learn this very early on. It's like they're playing hard to get a little bit, make them like chase. And I loved it. I feel like most college kids also love it. If you are in that age group, you love the chase. You just kind of go through college and you're like, I want the attention, but I don't want to give it. And that's the mentality that I had. But there was a boy. There's always a boy. But this story starts with a boy. And this boy, I kid you not, was borderline obsessed with me. So obviously I knew that he was into me. I didn't really think anything of it. Like I said, I was pretty used to the attention, and most people are like this, where you don't know if there's like that initial attraction, that chemistry, but like you can sense that something is there. So obviously, like when I was talking to this guy, I'm like, okay, we're flirting. The vibe is right. But I don't know. This is where things got a little interesting. I left this party. Okay, I'm never gonna see this guy again, and I don't really care. Like, it didn't bother me. Little did I know this guy was very interested in me. And so the next week, I hear from this like friend of mine. She mentions him in our conversation, and I'm like, listen, no. I'm very much the type of person that if there's a guy and he's super confident, yes, go off. But if you're gonna get somebody else to do and make the moves for you, like, I'm not interested. It's just not my vibe. It's not my thing. This friend reaches out. Do you want to meet him? Shuts down what I think is done. The next week she comes back and she's like, okay, that's fine. Let's us hang out. We meet for lunch, and pretty early on I can realize that this is like an entire setup. The guy shows up. Naturally, this guy is giving so much. I will pay attention to what you're saying. It's okay. And we exchange Snapchats, because I don't give my number away. Kids never give your number away. You're a crown jewel. You are a passenger princess. Let it be like that. Let people come to you. And I just exchanged my Snapchat, and I was like, oh yeah, hit me up. And obviously, you can see where this goes. We start to date. This is a thing where we are seen in public together. I wasn't talking to anybody else. I was exclusive with this guy. We're very much an item. I will say, I don't know if other people have had similar experiences, but in college, friend groups are a little bit interesting in the sense that you are not just part of one friend group, you are part of multiple friend groups, and for different occasions you have different friends. And I think that's like the case when you're grown up too. As an adult, because I've kind of like grown out of that stage a little bit, I don't feel it as much. But I remember in college I had my party friends, I had my school friends, like my work friends, I had my like activity friends, basically different groups for different things that I would do in college. We did have a fair amount of mutual friends. I was like, this is great. We're all friends together, but I'm also dating this guy. Things could not have worked out better. And this is where all the toxic stuff comes in. Things took a turn for the worse. It was great till it wasn't type situation. So one day, and I remember distinctly asking, can we hang out? And I got this excuse, which seemed valid at the time. I don't know if I can do tonight. And I was like, what the frick else do you have going on? I know your schedule. I know what you do. You're not doing anything else. I know your classes. What else could you be doing? I know that you're free today. And he's like, I can't do today. I have laundry. Okay, I'll come help you. He's like, no. I just, I want to do laundry. I just want to like get my shit together. I just want to like clean up at that time we were all living in dorm rooms, my dorm, have some alone time, do my normal like caretaking stuff. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. This was the first time that I had heard this excuse. You know what? I'm not going to think anything of it. We're in a good place. Nothing could possibly go wrong. So I just left it as is. So I turned to my other friend as we were walking out together of the library, and I was like, hey, do you want to hang out today? And she was like, I can't. Okay, what the heck is going on with all these people? Like, what are people doing? It is a Thursday night, thirsty Thursdays in college. Like, I want to go out and have fun. Let's play a game. Let's do something. No, okay. She gives a response. The hairs on the back of my neck like stood up, and I was like, what? She basically says exactly the same thing that my boyfriend said to me. I have laundry to do. I have things to do. I want to call my mom, vacuum my dorm. And I was just like, the frick? What? Okay. Okay. Like, I didn't know that Thursday was now the new like cleaning day, but got the memo. Situations like kind of rub you the wrong way. You're going to perk up and you're going to realize that there's something going on. There's like a red flag. But we were all part of the same friend group, and these two people were doing the same exact freaking thing. Carry on doing my normal stuff, and the following couple of days it happened again, and I was just like, I might be onto something here. And you know, at that age I was emotional, and I gave an emotional response to like everything. So for me, my first instinct was confront the situation, and I talked to like my other friend about it. Am I crazy? And she was like, you're not crazy. I would honestly do something about it. So did what any sane girlfriend would do and started checking his phone. I'm telling you, this is where the toxicity comes into play. Let's be honest. Like when we're at that stage, that's the only thing that we can think of. And so casually, I'd just be like, hey, can I check the weather? Check his phone real quick. In general, he was pretty open about it. So I didn't really think anything too much of it. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if I was crazy. I didn't want to give like an emotional outburst or like situation where things would get worse. So I just kind of waited, but I started to get a little antsy. So remember when I said that I only give my Snapchat away? That was definitely a common theme at the time. What I did was I made a fake Snapchat and I added my boyfriend on that username. If I pretend as though like I'm a girl, most guys accept, especially in college when you're at that stage and you're like, damn, I don't remember last night I might have given like my Snapchat to somebody. I'm just gonna add this person to see like who the heck this is. And so he accepted it. I already knew that it was toxic, but I need to get to the bottom of this. I feel like he's cheating on me and I can't tell because I already tried going through his phone. I also didn't want to look like a fool. I think when you're 20 years old and you're going through this experience, the last thing that you want is to like go and confront your boyfriend and he's like, you're just confused and I'm not cheating. How could you say that? I didn't want to deal with that. So that's why I took matters into my own hands. So I essentially tried flirting with this guy from that account and to try and like catch him. But he didn't take the bait. So at this point, I'm like fairly convinced like I am freaking crazy. There is no way that this shit is happening. I just am paranoid. I have like trust issues and I'm just being toxic now. So I'm just, Megan, 20-year-old Megan, like just shut up. And then it happened again. It happened once, I ignored it. It happened twice, I went through like kind of these sneaky ways. This is the third time and I'm definitely gonna like just straight up go and catch them. What the heck? I obviously knew his schedule, so I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, there's a speaker here and there's a lecture and I'm just gonna go and attend. And I was like, huh? Bullshit, but okay. And I even asked, can I come? And he's like, you wouldn't like it. You know what? I'm just going to test this girl, ask this girl. And she's basically said the same thing. I didn't know her schedule, so she could play it off as like I had a class at that time. So at this point, they're not idiots. They're starting to realize that I'm catching on. So I kind of had a hunch they were sending me to the wrong place. I'm not stupid. I feel like you guys realize that I'm asking questions and you're just giving me like a diversion. I'm gonna go to the building and find nothing. No, I was pretty smart for my age. No, that's not gonna happen. And so I casually asked him, can I use your phone real quick? My phone is dead. What I do is I go and I share his location on Snapchat with me. You can already, with this entire story, I'm realizing I should get like a Snapchat sponsorship. I have used Snapchat to the depths of toxicity. I am like literally the brand ambassador for Snapchat. It's so much easier to find my friends. Oh, you're sharing your location with this person. Plus it shows up in the conversation when you're texting somebody. But Snapchat, you can share your location and the person won't even know unless they go and check. So I was like, I'm just going to bank on the fact that he's not going to check his Snapchat. So I share his location with me. Let them do their thing. I go to my Snapchat and I see where he's at. And he's at this apartment. And whose apartment is it? You guessed it. The friend's apartment. Literally, there's no other explanation to this. You're doing what I know you're doing. You're cheating and you're just being super sneaky and slick about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I have two options here. You can either go and confront them, but ultimately, what are you going to get out of it? Are you going to go to her house, her apartment? Oh no, you cheated. break up and then that's it? Or could you do something about it and try to get back at him? So naturally I did the latter because it's me. He didn't know, obviously, that the second Snapchat that I made for stalking him originally was mine. Just some girl that he met and he doesn't remember, but that's fine. So I used it to my advantage. In college, it's like a little bit weird. I don't know if everyone has had the same experience, but because like we're all kind of together, the dating pool often collides and overlaps. It's odd. Proximity wise, we're all together. We're all doing the same thing. We might all have like the same mutual friends. So I'm going to play the best revenge plan that I've ever played in my entire life. I date his nemesis. I wish I were joking, but guys, this is like legit some of the toxic shit that I used to do just for fun. I don't know how I maintained a 3.8 GPA while I was doing all this shit. I don't know. Sometimes like when you're 20, you just do dumb shit. By nemesis, I mean like they're not scientists and they aren't competing against like the Nobel Prize. Literally talking about they don't get along. They have had like shit in history. There's drama and they don't like each other. That's basically it. A little, flirt here and there. Then I slowly built it up and obviously he was still cheating. This happened over the course of, I think, a month that I knew he was cheating, but I was like so committed to this. You know what? I'm gonna give you like what you deserve more so than just confronting you. I ended up on a couple dates with this guy that he doesn't like. And what I did was I would Snapchat stories of the guy from my fake profile and put it on my story, and I know that he would be watching it. He would complain to me and he would not realize that it was me. Sometimes I feel like the shit that I'm saying is this has to be like documented into a movie. In college, I went through a lot of shit. I pretty much journaled everything. So I have like 3 notebooks of just the drama that has ensued in my life. I literally feel like the stuff that I could say could actually be a movie. But went on like a couple dates with him, and every time I would hang out or I would do anything, post a story on this fake girl's page. And he would come back, who is this girl? Keeps posting pictures of this guy that I don't like. And I obviously, knowing that he's cheating, also knowing that I'm the secret girl. I don't know, sweetie. Aw, like pat on the head. Grand finale was I posted a selfie from the account of me and him together. I posted it. And I just waited for him to come to me. Because we are passenger princesses. I just gotta wait it out. So I did, and eventually he saw it, and eventually he blew up. How could you do this to me? And I was just like you're not doing it to me. And I told him like obviously that I knew, and he was like, I didn't know that you knew. And I was like, duh, I didn't do this for fun. I ended up dumping both of them, and I was like, see ya. Moral of the story here is sometimes if you were toxic and you use that to your advantage, you can get your shit done. As much as being toxic gets a bad rep, ultimately, I got what I want and I felt great after. I'm not even gonna lie, I felt amazing after. And so any of you people out there that are experiencing something similar, if you have a gut feeling that your significant other is cheating, go with that gut feeling, because I promise you, first of all, like there's probably truth to it. Trust is earned and can be broken very quickly. And it's one of those situations that if you know, you know. You should not doubt yourself. A lot of people get put into positions where they are doubting themselves. The significant other is doubting them. And then it becomes like this huge manipulative mess. It's like a trauma bond because you know that this person is cheating on you. They make you feel like you're crazy and then nothing ever ends up happening. So if you do at any point, lesson 1, feel like your significant other is cheating on you, go with that because your gut is probably right. And try to find out. I personally, the advice I would give is try to find out whether you're telling the truth before you do anything. Yeah, most adults are going to say like confront the person and like talk to the person. But let's be honest, when you're the age of like 16 to like 25, you're actually mentally not capable of like just straight up telling the truth. So if you ask somebody, hey, are you cheating? Chances are the person's going to be like, no, I'm not. So having a mature conversation with the person is not really always going to help. And sometimes you just need to do some stuff for yourself. So my second lesson is use toxicity to like your advantage. Sometimes you gotta be toxic and it works out in your favor and you feel way more empowered because of it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's like a healthy balance. I think there's a healthy mix of like standing up for yourself and then not getting too, too toxic to the point where it's like actually negative. Definitely the story that I just told you, don't do that. I think about that and I'm like, I was a whole different person and I could have even had like an entirely different college experience had I not been like that. But I was like that with everything. And it makes it fun. It makes it fun to like recount stories later on. Definitely don't do what I did because I think that was definitely an extreme measure taken. But don't be afraid to sometimes show passion and show emotion and be a little toxic to get an edge over a situation. And yeah, that is my moral of like this episode of Passenger Princess. In order to be a passenger princess, be toxic, girl, be a bad bitch, make that shit happen. Sometimes you gotta just do what you gotta do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I said a lot of bullshit in this episode. I have a lot of stories like that. Some are more extreme than others. Some just are toxic friendships. Some are when to know when to leave a toxic relationship or a friendship. But I have a lot of stories that I've learned over the course of my 24 years. And I'm pretty young. And I feel like sometimes that shit still happens. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm working now and I already have toxic shit happening at work, which is just like crazy to think that high school really never escapes you and you just are in high school like 24/7. I don't know if people feel like that too, but corporate America is just high school for the rest of your life. And as much as you hate it and you want to grow, and I recommend therapy for all, I definitely feel like you got to play the game sometimes, and it doesn't hurt anybody. It just ends up like helping you potentially. So I'm going to end the episode here. Don't forget to leave a rating and review and leave your comments down below and letting me know what else you want me to talk about. I have a bunch of stories, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed of this episode of Passenger Princess. I need like an outro or an intro or like something because yeah. Peace.